Start. Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhirbhavatu me sada Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya madhyamam Asmadacharya paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Bhadram karnebhih shrunuyama devaha Bhadram pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai-istuštuvagumsastanubhihi Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu Swasti na indra vruddhashavaha Swasti nah pusha vishwavedaha Swasti nastarksho arishtanemihi Swasti no brahaspatir-dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Kaivalyopanishad, Mantra 16 in my copy. In other books it may be 15 or 14. Punascha janmantara karma yogat sa eva jivasvapiti prabuddhaha Puratraye kridati yascha jivaha Tatastu jatam sakalam vichitram. We have seen the first half of this mantra. Punascha janmantara karma yogat sa eva jivasvapiti prabuddhaha. So far, we have been discussing the jiva, starting from Maya parimohitatma. It was the story of jiva. Jiva or jivatma, both are used in the same sense. In Vedantic context, jiva means a limited individual. An individual who identifies himself or herself as a limited being is called jiva. We are all jiva as long as we identify ourselves as limited individuals with doership and enjoyership, with kartrutva and bhoktrutva. The jiva is limited and the jiva has doership and enjoyership. That is how a jiva is perceived. This jiva helplessly travels through the three states: Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti. Whether it likes or not, it has to come to Jagrat. It cannot remain asleep for a long time. Others will wake it up. Even if others don't wake it up, the jiva itself will wake up after some time. Maybe at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, the jiva wakes up and it asks for food. Why the jiva wakes up? Because Janmantara Karma Yogat, because of the karmas which the jiva has done in the previous janmas. When the karmas start giving fruit, the jiva wakes up. Helplessly it wakes up, and it has to face the waking state. He has to face his wife. That is why Stri Annapana, we have seen in the previous session, Stri Annapanadi Vichitra Bhogaihi. Stri means his wife is standing when he wakes up. And he has to experience his wife. He has to face his wife. Some feminist got offended, I heard, after this session or during this session. So, if it is a Stri, he has to face his husband, face her husband. So it has nothing to do with feminism or anything. So it is jiva is basically gender neutral. The same jiva can be either masculine or feminine. Because in this janma, you are born in a given gender. Because you got a male body, you are a male. In the next janma, there is no guarantee that you will have a male body. If you get a female body, you will become female. So the very jiva by itself does not have any gender. It can become male, it can become female, and it can have any other gender also. How many genders are there? Can you tell me? How many genders are there? No, not 3. Yeah, in Sanskrit language there are 3 genders. Napumsakaling is there. But no. Now at present, as per the gender activists, there are 64 genders. You can Google it out. 64 genders. So, yeah, anyway, I heard somewhere, I'm not very sure what all are the 64 genders. So yeah, six, or you can find out how many genders are there. See, now there are so many people who identify themselves as something in between. So it is there. So I'm not commenting anything on that, but it's a fact. So now this Rishi is imagining a husband, a man who wakes up, and then he has to face his wife, Stree. So that is why Upanishad said Stree. It doesn't mean Stree is an object or anything. It's not so. So there is nothing to worry for feminist people. So Annapana, etc. So many objects, so many sources which give either pleasure or pain. So it can be either sentient or it can be insentient. That is why Stree and Annapana. Stree stands for all sentient beings, and Annapana stands for all insentient objects. So I wanted to clarify this anyway. So this gentleman has to wake up. This jiva has to wake up. And he has to face the Jagrat helplessly. And in Jagradavastha also, so many things are not under his control. Only a part of the Jagradavastha is under his control. The entire waking is like playing a video game. Nowadays there is cricket also. You can play cricket in the computer, online cricket. When you play cricket online, suppose you are playing cricket online. I have not played, so I don't know whether any of you have played, because majority of you don't look like players, at least at present age. So online cricket or any other video game. Let's take cricket for example. When you play cricket online, you are identifying with one person in the screen. In the screen there will be a whole team of 11 players, and your controls will be available to control one person who is visible in the screen. So you can control the movement of that virtual person. How he has to lift the bat, how he has to run, etc. You can control with your arrows or mouse or whatever. The rest of the players, they are not in your hands. The rest of the players are not controlled by you. They are either controlled by the software itself, or they are controlled by some other player, some other person who is sitting elsewhere. So if you are playing on your own without without participating in a game with other people, then the rest of the players are controlled by the software itself. You are controlling one person. As you keep playing for a length of time, you will find that you have become one with that person, the virtual person. It's a good experience. You can try playing this. Those who have not played video game, don't play too much, but once you can play this, because then you will get to understand what I'm trying to say. It's a very good example for understanding Vedanta. So you get control over that one virtual person, and as you keep playing for a length of time, you will get identification with that person. You start thinking you are that person. In fact, that is what has happened to many of the youngsters now. They have got Tadatmya. In Sanskrit, in Vedantic terminology, it is called Tadatmya. Becoming one with something else. So you will get a Tadatmya with that virtual person. And you start thinking he is that. And if that person is not playing well, he is not able to face the balls properly while batting, then you feel bad. Oh, I missed this ball. I didn't hit this ball. You feel bad. And if that person hits 6 or 4, then you are happy. You start jumping. Oh, I hit 4, I hit 6. So you identify with that person and his success and failure. That virtual person's success, you think it is your success. The virtual person's failure, you think it is your failure. But in fact, you are a different person altogether. You are not in the screen. You are not in the virtual cricket team. You are not there in the virtual stadium. You are absolutely outside the virtual stadium. So likewise, when we get into the waking also, we are not the wakers. The waker comes and goes. You remain. During waking, the waker comes. When we go to sleep, the waker goes. Just like the virtual person in the cricket team will come when you put on the computer or mobile. When you put it off, the virtual person will go away. So just like the virtual cricket player, only with one virtual cricket player, you have identification. You can control him. Likewise, here also, in the waking also, your control is in a very limited domain. You can control your body up to a certain extent. You can do certain things, but the rest of the things are not in your hands. How the ball comes, it is not in your hands. Whether it will be spin or whether it will be fast bowling or medium pace, not in your hands. You can only analyze how the ball comes and then try to bat it as much as you can. So, the waking is like playing cricket virtually. The waker and the waking world are projected by the Maya, and we identify with the body, this projected body, and we become wakers. Then there is a dream. In fact, a dream is more like a movie. In dream, even you don't have control over your dream body. It's all programmed rather. It's like a movie. Sometimes when we watch a movie, we identify with our favorite hero. Likewise in dream, you identify with the new body, projected body, the dream body. And become dreamer. The dreamer comes and goes. You transcend the dream and you transcend the dreamer. Likewise, if you analyze, you transcend all the three states. And you transcend the waker, dreamer, and the sleeper. You are neither the waker, nor the dreamer, nor the sleeper. Then who are you? You are the witness of the three states. The three states keep coming and going. Audio is breaking a lot. Is it happening to others also? Clear? Is clear to others? Clear. Very clear to others. Only for Lakshmi there is a problem. It's okay. Okay. I don't know what to do. Anyway, you can hear the recordings later on. Yeah. Yeah. So what did I say? Yeah. You are the Sakshi, the witness of the three states. And you are the witness of the waker, dreamer, and the sleeper. The Sakshi is consciousness, Chaitanya, Chit. You are Chit. Chit means consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is the one which does not undergo any change. It doesn't change. There is no transformation. And it illumines everything. Makes everything evident. Everything in the world becomes evident because of the consciousness. That is why consciousness is called light of lights. Jyotisham Jyotihi is a very beautiful way of explaining consciousness. We should understand the word consciousness or Chaitanya properly when we use it in Vedanta. If I use the word Chaitanya, some people think it is energy. Chaitanya is not energy. Energy is physical. Chaitanya is not energy. It is consciousness. Even the word consciousness is used differently by many other people. That is why I have to clarify in what sense we are using consciousness in Vedanta. It is the light of all lights. I think I don't have to explain this because quite a few people have listened to this explanation quite a few times. So I hope it is familiar. If anybody wants more clarification regarding consciousness, I will explain later on. You can ask a question later on. Yeah. So you are the consciousness. And the consciousness transcends the three states. Consciousness transcends the waker, the dreamer, and the sleeper. That is your true nature. That is the true nature of the jiva. The true nature is called Svarupa. The intrinsic nature or true nature is called Svarupa. The Svarupa of the jiva is Chaitanya, consciousness. It is also called Chit. The jiva is essentially Chit. Now this Chit, it does not undergo change. It is present always. The other things come and go. The waking state comes and goes. When the waking state comes and goes, the waking world also comes and goes. Everything is in a time continuum. You, the Chit, transcend the time continuum. Because you are always present. You, the consciousness, is always present. Nothing else can be always present, because everything becomes past. It becomes present for a while. The next moment, it becomes past. For example, the computer screen, which is there in front of me at this moment, it won't stand for the next moment. It is gone. So many pictures have changed. What is there at this moment will not be there for the next moment. Next moment there is a change. The computer screen at T1 is not there at the time of T2. It keeps changing in time continuum. It's a flux. It's a flow. You can imagine the time continuum like a river. Everything is there in the future, and it flows down from the future to the present. It becomes present for a moment. When it presents itself to you, it is present. Then it becomes past. Past means gone. It passed the present. Means it passed you. Is gone. You cannot pick it anymore. It is true with everything. It is true with the world. Every moment this computer is becoming older and older. We cannot measure the aging of the computer every moment, because we don't have that kind of instrument. But if we see after 6 months or 1 year, it has become very old. The computer has a very short lifespan. 2 years or 3 years. Then you need a new one. So everything comes to present and goes to past, becomes past. Past means gone. But you the consciousness, not even your body becomes past, past, past. Present, past, present, past, present, past. Every moment our body is aging. And so is our mind. Mind also is constantly changing. Mind keeps changing. Then what is not changing? It is you. The chit, the consciousness. You are ever present. Always present. You don't become future. You are never future. Future means what is there, not there now and it will come later on is future. But you are not future. You are there now. So you are present. And past means what is there, what was there a few moments back, and it is not there now is past. You don't become past also. You are always present, never past. Please think about all these things, what it means. So you are always present, never past, ever present. If there is something which is ever present, it is you. You the consciousness. You the Atma. Everything else becomes past. That is why Vedanta says don't hold on to anything. You cannot hold on to anything. You cannot rely on anything. The only thing that you can rely on is you. Atma. Chaitanya. You are ever present. The ever present is the present. The ever present is the present. And the present is called Sat in the Vedantic parlance. It is called Sat. Trikale api tishtati iti Sat. You are Sat. The existence. You are the existence. The present is existence. Everything gets existence when it presents itself to you. Otherwise, it doesn't have existence. When it becomes present, it gets existence. But its existence is because of your existence. Its presence is because of your being present. So you are Sat. You are Chit. And you are Sat. And we have seen in the last session, your nature is happiness. Happiness is intrinsic to you. Your nature is happiness. That is why even in deep sleep there is happiness. It doesn't come from outside. Then where is it coming from? It's inside. That means you are happiness by nature. Ananda. You are Sat Chit Ananda. And you are free from limitation. Even this was proved in the last session. You are essentially free from all limitations. That is why in deep sleep, you don't experience the sense of limitation. Free from limitation is called Ananta. Ananta means free from limitation. Infinite. You are infinite. Ananta. Therefore, let's sum up who you are. You are Chit, Sat, Ananda, Ananta. I am telling who you are. In fact, that is Vedanta. I am talking about yourself. In every other subject, we talk about something other than yourself. Whether it is physics or chemistry or biology, even psychology. We don't talk about ourselves. We talk about our mind in psychology. That is why psychology doesn't solve the problem. Because we are not talking about ourselves. We talk about the mind. The mind is not your Svarupa. The mind is also objectified. It's not understood by many people. The real solution will come if we understand our Svarupa. And the Vedanta analyzes our Svarupa. Vedanta inquires into our Svarupa. It's inquiry. It's not that it's told somewhere and I have memorized it and I am telling you. It's not so. I have gone through a lot of inquiry, years of inquiry. And that is what I am explaining now. After years of inquiry, I got some clarity. At least 17 years of full-time inquiry. I have done myself. But even I received from so many generations, thousands of generations, so many intelligent and the wisest of the brains have worked on this. And it has been understood. It has been analyzed in all possible angles. All possible questions are answered. All fallacies are addressed. And we have an absolutely refined system of self-inquiry. So who you are? You are Chit, Sat, Ananda and Ananta. If I arrange it in a proper sequence, you are Sat, Chit, Ananda, Ananta. Satchidananda. If we combine Sat, Chit and Ananda, it becomes Satchidananda. You are Satchidananda. Who is Satchidananda? You are Satchidananda. I am not talking about some other Satchidananda. There may be some person called Satchidananda. Swami Satchidananda. There may be. But I am not talking about any other person. You are Satchidananda. And you are Ananta. Ananda and Ananta. In fact, Ananda and Ananta, go hand in hand. They are not two separate things altogether. If there is Ananta, there is Ananda. Limitlessness and happiness go together. Limitlessness and happiness go together. You are limitless, that is why there is happiness. You are happiness. You are Ananda. I think I have explained this some other time. I don't remember. I don't want to discuss this now. Elsewhere, in a few times I have discussed this. How limitlessness and happiness are connected. So, Satchidananda Ananta is your Svarupa. Svarupa means your true nature. Everything else, anything other than Satchidananda Ananta is not your Svarupa. It is not your true nature. The waker is not your true nature. The waker is just like the virtual player. You have put the mask of the waker. The dreamer is not your true nature. You put the mask of the dreamer. It's not your Svarupa. What is your Svarupa? Satchidanandam Anantam. Not easy to own up. Perhaps some people understood this, but not easy to own up. To own up yourself as Satchidananda, it needs effort. One has to invest a lot of time. Nididhyasana is needed. So you are Satchidananda. We'll go to the second half of this mantra. Puratraye kridati yascha jivaha tatastu jatam sakalam vichitram. So far, we have discussed the jiva. Now, the Shruti is equating jiva with the Brahman. Jiva Brahma Aikya. Jiva is Brahman. How jiva can be Brahman? Because jiva is helplessly traveling through the three states. And Brahman is big. How can the jiva be Brahman? To understand this, let us understand what Brahman is. The Brahman is also defined by the Vedanta. there is a definition of Brahman. In Sanskrit, definition is called Lakshana. Lakshanam. Lakshanam means a definition. There are two forms of Lakshanas. Number one, Tatastha Lakshana. Number two, Svarupa Lakshana. Let's understand these two with an example. There is a row of houses. What is it called? Villa. Nowadays, there are villas. If you go to some places in Bangalore, there are villas. In olden days, there were agrahara. Agrahara is a row of houses. So nowadays we have villas. Similar houses. All houses are similar. And you are going there and you want to find a particular house. You want to meet your friend Devadatta. So you want to find Devadatta's house among the row of houses. So you ask someone, there are many houses, they look similar. Which house is Devadatta's house? You ask the person. And then he has two ways to explain Devadatta's house, to specify Devadatta's house. One way is to refer to any object outside the house and specify Devadatta's house. For example, when you are asking, immediately a crow comes and sits on Devadatta's house. A crow happens to come and sit on Devadatta's house. Then he can say, the house on which the crow is sitting is Devadatta's house. Kakavat Devadatta Griham. Kakavat Devadatta Griham. This is called Tatastha Lakshana. Because Devadatta's house is defined with the help of an object outside Devadatta's house. An attribute which is not intrinsic to Devadatta's house. The crow is not intrinsic to Devadatta's house. It is incidental. It just comes and goes. In fact, it is no way associated with Devadatta's house. Just for the moment it stood there and then it will go. Next time he cannot say Kakavad Devadatta Griham because the crow is gone. So such way of defining something is called Tatastha Lakshana. You define a given principle with the help of an external feature, an attribute which is external to the nature of the given principle. Then there is another form of Lakshana, Svarupa Lakshana. You explain something by explaining the very intrinsic nature of the given principle. For example, Devadatta's house. There are many houses, but Devadatta's house is painted red. The other houses are not red. They are some other color. Devadatta's house is red. Then he says the red house is Devadatta's house. He is explaining Devadatta's house with the very nature of Devadatta's house. An intrinsic attribute of Devadatta's house. The red house or the big house, etc. It is called Svarupa Lakshana. You explain, you define something by referring to its intrinsic nature. Likewise, Brahman also has two lakshanas, two definitions that are given in the Shastra. What are these two lakshanas? We will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Yeah. No, namaste, namaste. Yeah. Namaste, namaste. Yeah. Namaste, namaste. Yeah. Om. Yeah. Om. Yeah, both of you are sitting together. Om. Namaste, namaste.